Hey, what's going on, guys? So I just got done watching the new episode of Ninja Kamui. It is episode 9. This one took me for a loop. This went from being mid to like being like 180, like what the heck. Um, it's got some additional content. No ending in this one, so there's no end credit. Well, there's end credit, but no end like opener. Uh, so main idea of this, you have CEO man talking to Yamaji about things. Big D gets his fade in this episode, so he's getting faded out, and he's getting calls, and he's not reporting to work for Mr. CEO man. CEO is basically making threats to Yamaji, and yeah, so you know, let's get to the main portion of things where things actually happen. That's more or less teasing. Big D's suit's getting worked on, and we know that Sai was there looking at it, and he despises the CEO. Everyone despises him, and we don't know why he's being kept safe. Like, you would think by now that Imaji would have killed him, because this dude is just an absolute like dick to everyone, and just very negative energy. Besides that, let's go to our characters. So everyone's back together. You have Mike, you have Emma, you have Hegon, and then you got Jason. Jason is like your random guy that's just there for the heck of it. This episode, they're hacking Uza. They're trying to get more reactors shut down, and they're basically trying to screw them over. And yeah, Big D, he was getting the fade, so of course, uh, out of nowhere, there's like Big D comes out of nowhere in his suit, and a firing squad he comes out, and there's like this big fight where Mike he gets to use a Gatling gun. Emma shoots a bunch of people. It's pretty hectic. We don't really get to see much of the Big D fight with Hegon, because they're both brawling in their suits. So that I'm kind of like, eh. But it turns a 180. So yeah, they're just all fighting. Of course, our boys are just going crazy. You have Jason in the car that's just sitting there hacking to get into this mainframe or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what the importance of Jason is other than that he has the same skills as Emma, which will come important later on. No spoiler, but spoiler, by the way. Um, yeah, it goes from that. Just fights going on, just shooting people. We get this one scene where Mike gets sniped and it hits him in the chest, and it turns out that he had body armor on. He kind of plays it off. Like at first we're like, oh, he might be dead. No, it just hit the body armor, so it kind of hits you. You know what I mean? A little jump on you, a little thriller. Uh, yeah. After that, Hegon stabs Big D with this like weird blade sword thing into his chest, and he's like, "That was an honorable battle." I'll say one thing about Big D compared to everyone else so far. He's very much like he's calm, and he respects the game. You know what I mean? Mans was getting a fade, but in this episode he gets faded, literally gets faded out, and yeah, he gets stabbed in the chest, and he's like, "Finish me." And then Mr. CEO glasses guy that we don't know the name of, uh, he turns green for some weird reason. Whenever he turns green, we know something's gonna happen, and he's like, "That guy," you know what I mean? Saying some type of obscenity. I don't remember exactly what he said. Um, but yeah, starts turning green like his suit does for him, and he basically starts blowing up. Emma is in the middle of all this. Uh, it's this is where it gets kind of like 180 here. Mike runs over to like go and save her and push her out of the way, but Emma activates this robot to push him back and protect him. So the only two people that are caught in this explosion are Big D, who is exploding himself, and Emma. Higan was protected by the suit. So, in other words, Emma was laid flat down on the ground. She was like giving her condolences. Her like, I couldn't protect you. And during this episode, we got to know that there was a relationship with Mike and Emma, it wasn't romantic as much as it's like Emma was like the kid that, he lost his kid, so it was like a replacement in his life for his kid, if that makes sense. It filled the void in his life. Um, so the sad thing is, she's giving her like final words, how she's gonna keep her promise, and Higan's like, "Don't die," you know what I mean? He's just trying to, but yeah, she's like trying to say her final words, struggling, and they have to have the burial ceremony, and this is where the big spoiler comes, just so you know. Um, he basically they buried her, they burn it. It's it's like some type of ceremony where they burn it. I don't know, it could be a ninja thing, could be a cultural thing. I just don't know about. Um, while that's going on, the end credits are playing as we get additional run time on the episode, which I love. Uh, we get to see Sai and one of the suits. So now we know what's coming is a big fight to end the series. Now the series still has a little ways to go. It's got 3 episodes. So we know there's going to be a Sai fight. So Higan versus Sai, and it's going to be incredible. This episode, it's hard. You know what I mean? It's very much what you would think of a mid anime episode. It's got action, but it goes 180. It does that well. So I would say all day long right now, this anime is a solid 8. It's a solid 8, right on the dot. Nothing more, nothing less. If I had to rate this episode 8, and that's still a little generous. You know what I mean? What they do in anime, it's hard. It's hard to always manipulate emotion. This one is specifically made towards adults, and you know what I mean. I can understand if something younger isn't able to, emotionally manipulate you in any way, but I think that's extra points for something that's a cartoon to emotionally manipulate you, or like any type of animation. It should be hard because you're looking at a character that is very much cartoony and animated. You know what I mean? Fictional life given life. So that's part of the reason it's high but not low. Because I would say this is a decent B plus tier anime. Maybe an A on a good day. A minus. Honestly, A minus. I'll give it an A minus. It passes off as like an anime that I would pass off. So that's me going on my tangent. I love this series so far. Episode 9, and it's still really solid. Still ways to go. We'll get to see. This could be the end in these 3 more episodes. It could be a continuation that we might get way later on. And then, yeah, we'll probably replace this with something else. So it's a fun time, guys. So it's still far away from over, and this is still a series that I recommend going to check out. If you want to check this out, you can go to HBO Max. It's the next morning, so I don't know if it airs after 12 a.m. on Max. They put it on there. I think it's at like 3. They officially put it on there. But yeah, or you can also go on Adult Swim and watch it that way live, which is a great way to do it because you get to see it first time airing, and it's not a bad time at 12. Anyway, guys, tell me what your thoughts are about this episode, and also your thoughts so far on every other episode. I think this one, it's sticking through some loops. It does lack some things other animes don't, you know what I mean, that they have. I can't quite tell you what it needs, but it's not really its fault. It's all original material, so it's pretty perfect for what it is. I can't really knock it down a bunch of points because you gotta remember they have no source material. Everything you watch today, source material, so anything could happen. Anyway, guys, hope you stay safe and peace.